One of the issues that we have got to talk about is stress in this country. The fact that so many people are going to work exhausted, physically and mentally.
Truth is, working class people aren't lazy.
I want to see those same employees really stressed out. Just see what happens where their employers lay them off to hire part-time workers instead, or have to close their doors because they cannot make enough rent.
Can a shorter work week actually lead to higher productivity? The idea sounds counterintuitive, right? Yet, studies and real-world examples are showing something revolutionary. Working less can sometimes mean achieving more. The 4-day work week is one of the most debated trends in workplace psychology right now, and it's gaining serious momentum. But what does it really mean for your productivity, your mental health, and your career in 2025? In this video, we'll explore the pros and cons of a 4-day work week, backed by psychological insights and fascinating studies from around the world. By the end, you'll have a clearer picture of whether this work model could be the key to unlocking your true potential. Let's dive in. The pros of a 4-day work week. Let's start with the benefits because there are many, and they're backed by science. First and foremost, a 4-day work week is proven to enhance productivity. Studies from countries like Iceland and Japan show that reducing work hours doesn't just maintain productivity, it can actually increase it. Take Iceland as an example. Between 2015 and 2019, they ran one of the largest ever trials of a reduced work week, involving more than 2,500 workers. The results were groundbreaking. Productivity remained the same or improved in most workplaces, while worker well-being skyrocketed. Employees reported feeling less stressed, having more energy, and striking a better work-life balance. Psychologically, this makes sense. A 4-day work week combats burnout, which is one of the leading causes of decreased productivity. When employees feel rested and mentally healthy, they're far more likely to perform at their best. Another key benefit is sharper focus. There's a fascinating concept in psychology called Parkinson's Law, which states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. When you only have 4 days instead of 5 to get things done, you're naturally more focused and efficient. And let's not forget motivation. Shorter work weeks can give people something to look forward to, whether it's an extra day for family, hobbies, or rest. That motivation spills over into their work days, fueling better performance. The cons of a 4-day work week. Of course, the 4-day work week isn't without its challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is adapting to the shorter time frame. For many employees, the idea of doing the same amount of work in fewer days can feel overwhelming at first. It requires a significant mindset shift, and not everyone adjusts quickly. From a psychological perspective, this adjustment phase can create added stress for people who struggle with time management or procrastination. The tighter deadlines can leave some workers feeling rushed or pressured, which can actually hurt their productivity, at least in the short term. Then there's the issue of compatibility. Not all industries are well suited for a 4-day model. For example, healthcare, retail, and customer service often require round-the-clock availability. While some companies in these sectors have experimented with staggered shifts to make it work, it's not always practical. Another challenge is maintaining team collaboration. With fewer work days, it's easy for meetings and communication to become rushed or less effective. If teams aren't careful, this can lead to misunderstandings or misaligned goals. And finally, there's the question of equity. Some critics argue that a 4-day work week might primarily benefit white-collar workers while leaving behind those in jobs that require physical presence or shift work. This raises important questions about how to implement such a model in a way that's fair and inclusive. The psychological insights behind a 4-day work week. So what's really happening in our brains when we shift to a 4-day work week? One major factor is stress reduction. Traditional 5-day work weeks often lead to chronic stress and burnout, which impair both mental and physical health. When people have an extra day to rest and recharge, their stress levels naturally decrease. And as stress decreases, cognitive performance, things like memory, decision-making, and problem-solving, improves. Another key insight is about focus and attention. Shorter work weeks force people to prioritize what truly matters. Instead of wasting time on unnecessary meetings or low-value tasks, employees are more likely to concentrate on their most important work. This aligns with the psychological principle of task focus. When you limit distractions and set clear priorities, your brain operates more efficiently. Interestingly, there's also a link to emotional intelligence. In a 4-day workweek, collaboration and communication become even more critical. Employees need to manage their emotions, navigate workplace dynamics, and maintain positive relationships, all within a tighter time frame. Developing these emotional intelligence skills can be a game changer, not just for productivity, but for long-term career success. Real-world examples of the 4-day workweek in action. Now let's take a closer look at some real-world examples where the 4-day workweek has been implemented successfully.
Microsoft Japan tried it out by running a pilot project.
Microsoft Japan is a standout case. In 2019, they experimented with a 4-day workweek as part of their Work-Life Choice Challenge. During the trial, employees worked only 4 days a week while receiving the same pay. The result? A 40% increase in productivity. How did they achieve this? By cutting down on meeting times, encouraging better time management, and creating a culture of focus.
A New Zealand company could soon move permanently to a 4-day work week after a successful test run.
Another great example comes from New Zealand-based company Perpetual Guardian. After switching to a 4-day work week, the company reported lower stress levels among employees, higher job satisfaction, and no drop in productivity. In both cases, the companies focused on eliminating inefficiencies, like unnecessary meetings or redundant processes. They also emphasized clear communication and goal setting, which are essential for making the 4-day model work. These examples show that when companies invest in thoughtful planning and employee support, the 4-day workweek can deliver incredible results. Is the 4-day workweek right for you? So, how can you determine if a 4-day workweek is the right fit for you or your organization? Start by assessing your current work habits. Are you someone who thrives under pressure and can manage your time effectively? If so, the 4-day model might be perfect for you. But if you tend to procrastinate or struggle with prioritization, you may need to develop those skills before transitioning to a shorter schedule. It's also important to consider your industry and role. While some jobs can easily adapt to a 4-day week, others require constant availability or physical presence. If you're in a role where flexibility is limited, you might need to explore alternative ways to improve productivity and work-life balance. Finally, think about your personal values and goals. A 4-day workweek can be life-changing for people who want to spend more time with family, pursue hobbies, or focus on their mental health. However, it's not a magic fix. Success in a shorter workweek depends on your ability to manage your time, focus on what truly matters, and stay motivated. Conclusion. The 4-day workweek represents a bold reimagining of how we work and live. It challenges the traditional notion that more hours always equal better results. And as we've seen, the benefits can be immense. Increased productivity, better mental health, and more time to enjoy life outside of work. But like any major change, it comes with challenges. Whether you're an employee or a leader, adopting a 4-day workweek requires careful planning, open communication, and a willingness to adapt. So, is the 4-day workweek the future of productivity? For many, it just might be. The question is, are you ready to embrace the change and make it work for you? What are your thoughts on the 4-day workweek? Share your experiences in the comments. If you're interested in boosting your focus and productivity, check out our video, Simple Ways to Stay Focused in a World Full of Distractions.